Hello everybody, thank you again for watching my video. Here we are again with another rifle that I've taken down and cleaned up, hopefully. I have to re-blue it and hopefully that works out as well. So this is the, if you can see by the writing, this is the commission rifle 1888, the Chinese licensed copy of it, the Hanyang. Thanks again to Ian McCullum from Forgotten Weapons. I think he's the one who went into a lot more detail than most people, or at least he always makes it look interesting and quick and short. So these were made from 1895 up until I think 1945 or 1940s. And so these are shot to hell if you ever get one, but they're still pretty cool to get them. You can probably get them for less than $400, and usually, like I said, they're pretty shot. The barrels are pretty shot. Originally, these were using the caliber .318, 8 millimeter, as were the Germans, and of course the Germans a few years after that went with the now the 3 or .323 diameter bullet. And so, but these guys remained the same, and I believe they remained with the same round nose bullets. The barrel on this one is so shot that I ended up having to get a .327 diameter lead bullet, not full metal jacket, none of that, just a regular soft lead bullet. And I put a few rounds through it. Haven't really shot any accuracy tests with it, but in any case, I will see how it works. Now I cleaned up the stock using we call it some chemical paint thinner and just a cloth and just a white cloth and paint thinner. It took a little bit of while, but what's really neat is that you really saw some stuff pop out of this thing here. I believe if I read correctly, this one means something about river people or river army, and this little marking here popped up, which I don't know what it is, but because the stock was so dirty, I actually hadn't seen that before, so that's pretty neat. Here's some more markings. Trying to get you, and you can see the color of the stock is pretty nice. It's a really beautiful color now that I've cleaned it up. It is quite pitted in many places, you can see right here, and this is still a little bit rusty. I couldn't even take these out. Originally this was in really bad condition too, but I did not do a good job. Don't laugh at me about that, but I just put it together so I can go bango on it. These reinforcements here are pretty rusted out as well. These parts here for the band clips as well. This is using the older style bayonet, pre-98 style of bayonet with the with this type of lug and front barrel band. As you know, the later versions, for example, the German 98 Gewehr was using that H style, but not this one here. And it's really cruddy shape, but it's okay. It's part of the history of it. It's kind of nice, but those really are the only markings on it. On this other side here, just could not get that cleaned up, and I didn't want to use any strong brush on it. I did some copper or brass brushing on it, but it just couldn't come out. Maybe it's painted, I don't know, but I didn't want to dig into it too much, because that's part of the deal when you buy these things, is they are going to be really beat up, but they've got pretty cool markings for those of you who like that stuff. And originally they did have the barrel jacket like the original Gewehr 88, but by 1904, I believe, is when they said that they stopped using them and they went to the straight barrel here, no jacket. The barrel itself has some pitting in it, but the inside looks good. You see some pitting all over it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. They're using Western numbers here. Now, I will tell you one thing already I massively screwed up on. I dipped this thing again in rust remover, which it kind of needed it to be honest with you. But this is what happens when you sometimes do that kind of stuff. You see that? The freaking front side is moving. So we will see what we can do about that. Let's not worry too much about it because they have to put it on loose and fix it somehow, some way, so we can do that too. Anyway, let me show you more of the markings. It looks to me like this whole thing is original to itself. It's, in other words, it didn't really go through much repairs. You can see the numbers 2 here, number 2 here. There's a number 11 here. Here's another number here on the barrel, and there's some other markings here. I cannot decipher if there are numbers or what on the heck they are, but you can look at that. Am I upside down? I don't know. I mean, I almost want to say they're Arabic, but of course they are not Arabic. These markings up here, but you know, anyway, just part of the fun. This side here of the trigger, you can see some sort of proof marks there, I guess one could say. It is pitted, by the way, like I said, but it's oh, this little pin here is coming out. Gotta push it back in. I need to fix that a little bit, but everything works well. There is another, let me see, I'm trying to figure out if it's up or down. Up here, no, yeah, there's a number 2 right here as well. Let me bring that over. Okay, I didn't show you that part. Yeah, there's a number 2 right there on the bolt release. Okay, so quite a bit of this looks like it's in original condition. Alright, so this has the what they call the tangent sights. Now, very interesting. Some of you who know about tangent sights, and if you've watched CN Arsenal's video on the Gras 98, there's a little feature on the tangent or the roller coaster sights, the Langzagewehr or whatever you call it, where they made a big deal about being able to advance this part here by 50-meter clicks. That was supposedly a big deal. My Gras 98 does not have that feature. They did say that some do, some don't. Mine does not. However, is this broken or is this able to do that? If you look at here, I don't know. Could it be that these Chinese rifles actually had that also, or potentially had that feature? Able to do that. I was able to do. Maybe it's just broken. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting that I was able to do that quite a bit over on this side here. See, interesting. I don't know. Somebody out there, if you know more about these Chinese Mausers, or not Mauser, sorry, it's not a Mauser, it is not a Mauser, it is a commissioned rifle. Any case, looking forward to shooting it with a little bit more attempted accuracy. It's got, I made about 100 rounds out of that. I also, here is the rear barrel band with another number 2. So like I said, this gives me the impression that none of this was ever replaced. It's got heavy pitting. It feels very thin, but still yet very strong. Of course, I'm not gonna mess with it too much. Heavy pitting. Here are the little bolts that came with it for the trigger housing. And this is after it's been dipped in rust remover, brushed with a brass brush and 400 grit, or 440 quadruple zero steel wool. Some other numbers. Here's some markings up here. You can see that. You can see that this has been pretty battered quite a bit, right? Wow. It still works, like I said. Now look at this. Boink, boink, boink. It still works, and the spring is very strong. So it's just the entire thing feels rough, a little bit rough. Like it's really not all that smooth anymore. But it's still pretty neat. Lots of pitting all over the place. And look forward to shooting it soon. I'll be over in Lake Piru. They have that California Tactical Academy. And I'm going to try and reblue this thing. And it cost me about $250, I think, altogether. Which, like I said, they're pretty cheap. But you don't really buy these for hunting or for adding to your super duper expensive collection. You buy them just because they're pretty darn neat. A little bit of history. Here is the upper handguard. Very beautiful color now that I've cleaned it up as well. It's not so dark. And well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys find them. I find these rifles all the time on auction houses, on some website called ProxyBid. Sometimes they sell for $400 or $500, but on the average they're about $300. The average. And unfortunately, yeah, you're probably going to need an FFL for this thing, or curio and relic license, because there's really no markings on these things. And like I said, from 1895 to 1940 something they were made. So unfortunately, they do fall under the they don't fall technically under the antique 1899 and before category. So kind of can't really send it to your house. I don't have no idea how to even check the date on these things. So in any case, folks, I hope you guys get yourselves one. If you want one, they are very, very much available, and pretty affordable, kind of fun. And unfortunately, you will have to reload these things if you really want to shoot them. But .318 diameter bullet is kind of an important thing to know. And start off with a low charge from modern ammunition. Round bullets, I would say getting yourselves lead round nose bullets. I believe this is what they kept using throughout its lifetime, or maybe not lead, but at least jacketed lead, as opposed to full metal jacket Spitzer. Okay, folks, so that's enough for today. I hope you enjoy my video, and I hope that you find yourselves buying one of these, because they're pretty cool looking. At least all the markings are. And it still uses, of course, the end block clip, which I have like 6 or 7 of those. All right, take care.